Joyful all things, beautiful beings, joyful all things, beautiful hearts. Hi, I'm Sierra. Welcome to Beyond the Story podcast. I also titled this Open Heart Sessions, um, Heart Space Heart Calls, Heart Space House Calls. So I need to take a deep breath. So maybe you could just take a moment to, if you can, just take in a deep breath and just feel all that and just exhale it all out. Yeah. I didn't know how much I just needed that. Sometimes I don't think we give ourselves those moments, right? So welcome to Heart Space House Calls. I'm excited to be here. I don't know if you are, but I'm excited to be here. Um, and we're just gonna be talking about some of y'all just give me a second because this is a real topic we talk about. This isn't one that's made up just to get ratings, just to get likes, just to play on your emotions. These are real life stories. These are real life heart expressions because we are living it like we talking it. We the living story. So nevertheless, if you've been watching and paying attention to my posts, I hope you have. Like whatever I got going on, like, comment, share, especially because sometimes the message might not be for you, but it could be for somebody else. So if you love your people on your timeline and you want to bless their souls, then share the content because I bless my own soul with my own content, and that's no joke. Like, so I know it can definitely help somebody else. And so, again, I'm not sure if you've been watching, but I hope you have, so you know maybe why we're here. Um, I made a few posts. My most recent one was "Meet Me at the Crossroads," and that's a Bone Thugs and Harmony song for y'all who don't know that. But it says "Meet me at the crossroads so you won't be lonely." And then I also said, "Let's talk about death, can we?" And kind of like in that video, if you remember the video or look it up, it was really about like life and death, the crossroad. And so I would like y'all to meet me there so that you can meet yourself there and that we can start meeting people there in those spaces, what feels like the crossroads. hmm And those are the times that we shouldn't feel lonely. Those are the times that we shouldn't feel like we are against each other. So the times, yeah. And so I don't want to be lonely in this space. But see, this space is nothing like the old space that I'm familiar with when it comes to death. I've experienced something so profoundly different this go round. And and I'm and I'm almost lost for words to be living this. So I remember sitting in the car talking to Kimmy cousin after she passed away. But we just had a conversation that we gotta do something different. And with all of me, which with what understanding I could get from not being controlled by my own emotions. Cause I really had to put like this feeling of grief just to the to the side so much so that I can possibly see something else. And so my spirit wouldn't even really let me to be sad. It allowed me to see something bigger. And what I saw is how we've been repeating the cycle. I saw how I've been here before. I And I was now allowing myself to express that I didn't like it. And then now giving myself the opportunity to know that if it was going to be anything different, then I would need to figure that out. And and so we took time to listen to my internal self, but to also pay attention to the things that are around me. And I see us how we'll cry and dry tears in funeral homes and we do nothing different. I see how we'll put faces on shirts and walk around with them and we do nothing different. And so I allow myself to not just feel my feelings of having to now learn how to live without my cousin Kimmy. I decided that I was going to do something else with that. And that's a chapter in Finding Sierra. Blue lips don't care. Blue isn't just a color, it's an attitude. And then the blue lips don't care experience came after me allowing myself to embrace myself even in that moment. And so to allow myself to see the other side of the coin. Why is it that when things happen, we only see just that side, or we only allow us just to feel that one thing, as if there are other things happening going on at that moment? And when we're not even curious about what's on the other side of the coin, you're just going to take this side, and this side you don't like. This side is the one that's making you uncomfortable. This side is the one that you complain about every day. And yet you won't give yourself the opportunity to even know what's on the other side of the coin, because you're not really willing to do something completely different. And I didn't like the feeling that I had, and this is what me and my cousin shared when we talked that night outside of my grandmother's house. And I wanted to do something different. And so because of that, I got to experience something different. And my family has been dealing with Smith Funeral Home since I've been 11 years old. That was my first date with death. We buried my grandmother. And I remember I write about it in my book, in Finding Sierra. I also write about it in The Rooted Journey Home, because it's a black owned business that has been a part of the community as long as I've been a part of the community. 35 years, if I'm not mistaken, I saw on the sign today. And so all of those whom my family had to say farewell in this lifetime to, we've done with Smith Funeral. And I appreciate their service. Like, I appreciate their service. But so the feeling that I got, I'm just really trying to give, I don't know, but meet me here. Because why is it that we must know everything now? Like, when we can't know everything, because we don't, so if knowing everything, you wanting to know everything, is you telling it what it's going to be, not really being as ready as you can be for what it's going to be. And then you don't really be disappointed, because when you make your mind up that you feel like things are going to go a certain way and they don't, that's you hurting your own feelings. So I'm going to tell y'all something. So it's such a beauty behind this I've seen I've seen the beauty in life. I've seen the beauty in like in love. Like, oh my goodness, this experience with Jerry has like opened a part of my heart. I just I don't know all the details, but I can tell you, I can show you the contribution of that, whatever. And so I always wanted to be a daddy's girl. And I felt like life shortchanged me that experience. But we'll have the very thing that we are wanting and almost miss it because it don't look like what we want it to look like. And I didn't know that I was almost about to forfeit myself from having this experience without knowing though, without even knowing. But I believe because I showed up and I intentionally moved from my heart space that I wasn't going to allow myself to miss it because we said we weren't forfeiting nothing else. And I meant that you got to read the first book. You got to read Find the Sierra. And so I told myself I was no longer forfeiting anything else. And that whatever it is, and how, no matter how it made me feel, that I was going to at least explore it a little bit, right? I was going to at least look at it. Like, we'll say we don't like something before we even taste it. Like, we don't even know, and we'll be like, no, no, no. But sometimes in those no, no, no's and those phobias, we missing what you need to experience to sweeten your cake or to add that thing to your recipe. Like, I don't know. So, anyways, I told myself I wasn't forfeiting anything else. I had forfeited enough. Like, I forfeited enough. So, whatever it was, we were going to experience it and figure it out. And if it was a crime, make sure that it was the crime was worth it. So, when we don't do what's on our heart, that's when we have the regrets. But if you said it like you meant it, if you showed up like you authentically are, then you don't have no regrets. And then it's actually okay to look back because a lot of us don't like to look back because it's full of the shoulda, couldas, and wouldas and the things that we wish we would have did and wish we would have said and that kind of thing. But if you allow yourself to move from your heart space, you have less shoulda, couldas, and wouldas because you gave it your all. You showed up from the start how you truly meant, and then however it goes after that, it was either a lesson or a blessing. But when you don't show up as all of you, when you don't allow yourself to say it, then those are the little things that make you feel like it could have been another way. But if I show up with all of who I am the first time in my experience with you, and so however it goes in your interpretation of me has nothing to do with me because I gave it my best shot. And so I know if it's anything contrary or different, then it ain't for me. And that's how I see it. So I have no, so you dust your feet, kind of like the Bible say we could do, and you get on about your business. We take so many things personally and everything. You not meant to mix with everything. Listen, I was designated already to love me and to be a part of what I'm supposed to create. Nothing more, nothing less. And if I gotta obtain that with bumping my head a few times or maybe like whatever, then sign me up for that. That's all I'm saying. Like, because the right combination of it is the manifestation of who you all are, like everything. So I want all what's supposed to be for me. And so we went to view the body of dad today. And this body is literally just a vehicle. Because I'm looking at this body, and this is not dad. And so I really just like we put a lot of emphasis on this box. It said we come from the ashes. It said he blew the breath of life in the nostrils. And it says we also gonna go back to ashes, dust to dust. So we go back to which we return that this flesh will do. It's gonna break down. And I'm looking at dad's flesh and just you just look at life different because the world makes us put so much emphasis on this flesh. We got people able to buy big houses because of the cosmetics we do to our flesh. That is just a vehicle for the best parts of us. The vehicle for the only part of us because we are spirit. And so we put so much into the flesh that we give the world value because it creates jobs. Oh my goodness, wow. You wanting to do something to your outward creates jobs for people. But we want to do nothing with our inward. We don't want to check ourselves before we really wreck ourselves. Wow, I'm just saying, don't sign me up for that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Like my desire is to make these outsides look as good as my insides. That's my desire. Yeah, I just look like this. Like it's literally it's an inside out thing. It is an inside out, and I'm trying to get y'all to see what I feel, cause like yeah, so another story. So nevertheless, so it was a great day, and we just played some music in the chapel, and it was me, mom, and Nicole, and it was the three of us, and that was good. Dad looked very handsome. What a And so life not gonna stop. Life didn't stop. Like life has continued to go on. So life is not gonna stop for us to prepare for these things. So we gotta make time for these things. We have to make time for these things because don't you see it'll have you spending money on what's not important. It'll have you focus on what's not important. I'm telling you, I'm looking at dad's body. He got all his 10 fingers, all his 10 toes. He had all his gray hair on his beard. It looked like that, but I wasn't that. And so just know that there's a part of you you must consider taking care of, which is your inner spirit, your inner man, your greater parts of you, not just this flesh. This thing is just a vehicle, but we make people rich with the money we spend on the cosmetics of it. Scripture says that we can die daily. hmm We can die to those things that we don't like. Those guys, we can die to those things that mean us no good. So we're supposed to die daily, anyways, per what Scripture says. But see, the thing about this dying daily is that you get to rise again. But there's gonna come a time where you will die and you will not get up again. And that is what's gonna tell your story. They mentioned on Breakfast Club this morning, I was talking to Antonio Brown, big shout outs because he's doing big things in the community. Shout out to Barbershop Book Club. But yeah, but he said my story is I'm gonna live on because I'm gonna put things in play that you're gonna mention my name when we do events at Enoch Davidson. And I just funny because a post just today came up about Enoch Davidson. Actually, today is I think 2 years is where I rededicated my life to myself and just rededicated to getting to know me. And it has now had me in spaces to where I've learned so many amazing things. Like, I can't put it in words. We must live this life. Life is to be experienced. You're here to experience life. That's why you got this flesh. I mentioned I'm just looking at that body, but it's this flesh is just your vehicle to get you around, to move your spirit on the earth, to take you where you need to go. That's what it is. And but we put so much emphasis in it. But ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It goes back to where it came from. And so just want us to live intentionally and live from the parts of us that's important, because this flesh gonna lay there, it's gonna decay. Dad, listen, because of course they pulled them out the fridge, they pulled them out the refrigerator. Like, I feel the coldness coming from his body. This body gonna be cold as ice. Don't you listen to your spirit. Honor what your God is saying to you. Because that's the living. And it speaks about the flesh that'll make us do contrary. I'm just saying. Hmm. But this flesh goes back to the earth and it won't have no value. Listen to your spirit and leave legacies. Do extraordinary things. And I'm at least gonna try one time, right? Like, listen, I forfeited a lot of things. I just told y'all that. I forfeited without even trying. There was things I was just like, don't. When I thought the spirit was gonna tell me to do it, I was like, I had already counted myself out before even trying, before even allowing myself to chew on the thought. I dismissed it. So yeah, I'm at least trying it one time. And if my spirit tell me that I can do it, I got to be inclined. It's telling me something good. Like, it's telling me what it might already know that I don't know quite yet. And usually that's what it is, right? Right. We could be scared of something, and when you get there, you be like, "Oh man, that wasn't even as bad as what I thought it was." Why would it tell you to go there if it was going to be all what you couldn't handle? I'm not going to put more on you than you can bear. So I told Mom Duke even the other day, I'm like, Mom, all these things are coming our way because we can handle these things. Yeah, so it's something to learn, something to overcome, something to see, something to be, something to experience, and to cry, maybe even scream. But don't just do the screaming and the crying and only see the negative, and you don't allow yourself to see the other side of the thing, of the feeling, of this flesh. Yeah, see, you hear that? That's real. That's real. That's real. So, yeah, so loving, so dealing with that has allowed me to like go into this heart space that I had turned off, that I didn't even know that I turned off. And it was cool because it gave me this daddy daughter experience that I never thought that I was going to have. Like, I was really mad at life and mad at God because out of everything I knew that I saw myself that I was good at, that I didn't even think that I could be good at, but found out that I was without even trying sometimes. But the one thing that I wanted to do, the one thing that I would have tried my best at, I felt like I didn't get to have, and that's just having the daddy daughter experience. But I was given that experience, and it was. in the moment of when I was deciding what was important to me. So literally just as listening to my heart, listening to those things that flow from my heart, and figuring out what can I do about it. Can I talk to the person that's connected to this feeling? Is it something I need to revisit so I can change the narrative in it? Because am I not seeing my part that I played in it? And so I was allowed to see all these things. And so never so in doing all this intentionally, because just really trying to get to what makes my heart smile, doing what's important. And in that, something felt like it just opened up, and then I can see what I thought that I was missing out on that I always had, and I didn't know it, and I almost missed it, and I was given a second chance at it. So you will be given a second chance at that thing. It might not come the way that we want it though, and that's how I'm realizing sometimes we mess it up because it don't come the way we want it. And if we think about it, Jesus didn't come the way that they thought the people was that the savior of the world was going to come either. So don't miss it because it don't come the way you want it. And so here I wanted to have this daddy girl experience. And so I didn't realize because it wasn't it's really deep. You got to meet me. You got to meet me here a little bit more and we can really be about this thing. We can really meet each other at these crossroads and we can really encourage each other in these spaces, right? And then each girl can have that daddy girl experience because I realized that in listening to my friends or someone, or if I even see it, right, it makes my heart smile. It makes that little girl in me smile. So I feel like I still get to have the experience. So we can meet ourselves at these crossroads within ourselves around our daddy girl issues and really heal ourselves from the inside out. And not always by the experience that you had, but due to being able to experience it through somebody else. Yeah. So um that's it. That's the message. I needed this space really because I needed to talk about these things. Because it's it's unconventional. It's not the way that I've been experiencing it. So which makes it unconventional. It's not the way that's being taught. But we can definitely experience death in a different way. That really helps us, or what did I say? We can find, let's talk about all the good things, and the solutions that we can find coming from death. Like, let's talk about it, all the good things that comes from death. And then we learn from all the bad things. That's it. Let's talk about all the good things, learn from the bad things that come around this experience. So yeah, and that's what I experienced from this whole experience. I see my mom so dope, y'all. Mama Duke so dope. I watched her love. I watched her do to death do us part, and didn't look like a 6 bedroom, 15 bathroom, big diamond ring, whatever, whatever. It looked like love, and it was beautiful. It was truly truly beautiful to experience. Like, cause mom used to fight me about dad, y'all. And I've been in healthcare for 20 plus years, and she used to fight me about how to take care of him. Like, to death do us part. To death do us part. Y'all be great. Y'all have a great day. We're gonna open the house again later on at a later date. So tune in for more heart space house calls. Well, we're gonna free our heart and let the rest follow. Well, we're gonna allow those issues from our heart to lead us into finding those solutions for our heart. How about that? I think I like that. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a great day. Remember, I talk about death not to make you fearful, but so you will intentionally live. I talk about death so that you remember and be reminded that life is a gift. I talk about death so you can be as prepared as you can be for what you'll never be prepared for.